Our next story focuses on a playbook. Donald Trump's global endorsement playbook. It's rapidly expanding, it seems, beyond American borders and into the heart of democratic elections around the world. From South America to Europe, Trump has increasingly taken the unusual step of publicly backing foreign leaders and political candidates ahead of the crucial national elections. The latest flashpoint, in fact, being Colombia. Trump has publicly endorsed the firebrand, far-right lawyer and businessman known across the country as what refers to as the Tiger. Espriella surged into the presidential runoff under the banner of his movement, which basically is loosely translated into defenders of the homeland. His platform centering on a hardline Manadora or iron-first approach to security. And he has promised an aggressive crackdown on drug cartels, an end to peace negotiations with the armed groups, and the construction of 10 mega prisons. And he has openly modeled his rhetoric and political style on Donald Trump and El Salvador's president. Therefore, Trump's endorsement is both symbolic and also strategic. But then Colombia is far from the only country where Trump seems to have taken a keen interest. In Brazil, the focus has been on Flavio Bolsonaro. He is a senator and son of former President Bolsonaro. In fact, Flavio is positioning himself as a major contender for the 2026 presidential election. He has sought to tap into the global conservative movement closely associated with Donald Trump. And Flavio's relationship with Trump received international attention when the US president hosted him for a private meeting in the Oval Office. And their meeting coming just months ahead of the presidential elections in Brazil. But then the most dramatic case, it seems, of Trump's alleged interference is Venezuela. After years of confrontation with Nicolas Maduro's government, the Trump administration moved beyond sanctions and diplomatic pressure, remember, that targeted US-led operation resulting in Maduro's capture in January and transfer to the United States to face criminal charges. The event was a historic shift in Venezuelan politics as well, of course. And this is one of the most direct instances of US involvement in the political future of a South American state. The next door in South America is Cuba, where Trump's objectives have been no less ambitious. Although regime change has not been achieved, the Trump administration has pursued what seems to be a maximum pressure campaign aimed at weakening the government in Havana. Washington has currently imposed tough economic sanctions, restricted the island's energy sector, remember, and increased aggressive rhetoric against the Cuban leadership. And then there is Armenia. Just days before the country's crucial parliamentary elections, Trump publicly endorsed the Prime Minister, Pashinyan. He described him as a great friend and leader. The remark immediately drew attention because Armenia's elections on June 7 are being watched closely both within the country and across the region. And then there is Hungary, a country which offers a lesson in the limits of international political backing, it seems. For years now, Donald Trump and Viktor Orban were seen as ideological allies. Trump repeatedly praised Orban and endorsed his re-election efforts as well. And during Hungary's most recent poll campaign, US support for Orban became even more visible. After J.D. Vance traveled to Budapest to participate in campaign events, Trump himself addressed supporters over the phone, telling crowds he was with Orban all the way. Yet, despite the high-profile international support and all that symbolism, Orban was defeated in the April 2026 elections. The result also speaking volume about how foreign endorsements may shape headlines, attract a lot of attention, but do they really necessarily decide the result?